I'm here in New York City, and if you want to get a free flight anywhere across the United States, just come right here to this shelter because they're giving free flights to anywhere outside of New York City. And it's outside here at this migrant shelter. No need to wait in line. Just tell the front door staff you'd like to get a travel ticket. And all these people are able to leave if they have family, friends, job opportunities, lower cost of living, better climate in another city. And the modes of transportation are bus, train, flight, or car service. And if you want to leave, all you need to do is somehow show some sort of government issued ID. But I don't know how they have a government issued ID if they came in the country illegally. And this sign is posted in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different languages. And all these people are able to fly literally wherever they want. They can go in there, they walk right in, and they show them and they tell them that we want to leave New York City, and they're giving them free flights anywhere across America. And all these people can go anywhere they want here inside the United States. And it's all being used with your money that you're paying. And next time you wonder why flights are so expensive, maybe it's because they're giving away a bunch of free flights and it makes it a lot more expensive.
Oh yeah, that taxpayer-funded free program definitely isn't going to be abused, as of course I'm automatically thinking about how I could abuse it. Yo necesito. Vamos, Hawaii. Por favor, señorita. Ándale, ándale, pendejo. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely crazy and wild news to get into, as domestically a lot of people are fleeing the leftist hellscapes as they are encompassing and destroying everything good and holy, as internationally the situation unfolding right now in Taiwan is absolutely troubling, as Russia now is also making some major advancements. All this as Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping just had major high-profile meetings discussing probably these larger escalations that both of them are doing at the same time, which probably is not a coincidence. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Atlas gets double treats for you subscribing and clicking the notification button today, since, of course, she's already there. And it's definitely worth subscribing and clicking the notification button, since we're going to be live, Atlas, at the Libertarian National Convention, and we're going to be doing some live streams in the next few days with some really awesome, incredible human beings. Watch it first by, of course, subscribing and clicking the notification button. But getting right into it, the clip that we played in the beginning of this video is from a Nick Shirley. Whoever this young gentleman is, we're going to make sure to link his YouTube channel in the description so you guys could support and follow more on the ground reporting from individuals that are just detailing the lunacy unfolding in many leftist mind virus hijacked cities like New York City that no longer represent the best and greatest city that this country has to offer, as of course they give people like Sean P. Diddy Combs the key to the city, and that's one man you don't want having that key. That's one man you don't want having access to whatever doors he wants opened, okay? As those backroom deals and parties that we all kept hearing about for many years right now are extremely disturbing, and we're only scratching the surface of this, as today we're finding out that a model that is accusing him of doing some really awful things to her back in 2003 has announced that she actually kept the unwashed clothing she wore when P. Diddy allegedly drugged and assaulted her. This as now the young woman who was recently assaulted by P. Diddy in the infamous elevator hotel video just came out and said that she is, quote, thanking all the people who are supporting her right now. As we're also finding out that 50 Cent now is selling and shopping around a documentary on P. Diddy, which probably will be going to Netflix, highlighting some really interesting cinéma verite that the American public are soon going to be exposed to from the fellow Democratic operative that was behind major campaigns and political efforts with individuals like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And also, let's not forget Joe Biden, as now there's an old video surfacing of Old Yeller literally saying this.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Maybe he let the cat out of the bag. Maybe he spoke. Maybe he got the script a little bit too early, or just went off of it a little bit too much. As some people are saying that this is the first time he actually spoke the truth. This as Cenk Uygur, who just took to social media a few hours ago and announced that, quote, Trump is going to win. Buckle up, brace for impact, as there's been a massive pushback against leftist democratic ideals, especially with many states, with many individuals moving away from democratic heavy areas. This is now 13 conservative Oregon counties have approved a measure to succeed from the state of Oregon and join, quote, Greater Idaho, as there is a separatist movement now building to move away from the more democratically controlled Oregon areas that are taxing, regulating, and controlling a lot of Republicans that don't want to live under the thumb of the Democratic political party. This as political ideology has become more and more divisive and Democratic policies have become more and more destructive. This as even major celebrities like Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel are the ones who are moving away from places like LA and going to places like Nashville, Tennessee, as it's fair to say that crime has skyrocketed in places like California, where it goes usually unpunished. As we have seen lawless video after lawless video of individuals stealing or hurting other individuals, and police officers just literally looking the other way and not enforcing the rules and the laws. But if there's a woman that has collected some clams on a beach, they're going to be on her like white on rice, as a mother was recently fined $88,000 after her kids collected 72 clams from a California beach, as she was soon confronted by the Department of Fish and Wildlife that informed her that her kids collected clams, which they thought were seashells, quote, without a license, therefore issuing her a ticket, receiving a fine in the mail, ordering her to pay $88,993 and to be seen in court to pay her penalty for violating the rules and laws, which she didn't know she was violating. She, of course, went to court. The judge knocked the fine down to $500, which is still egregious. As, of course, in California, they don't enforce a lot of very serious crimes, but children making a mistake, oh, hell no, you're going straight to jail. As, of course, it's becoming more and more like Venezuela and other leftist democratic hellscapes where, of course, people are routinely imprisoned for expressing political opinions. Very similarly to what's happening here in the United States, this, as of course, I want to bring people together so they can become the best, strongest, most amazing versions of themselves, to network, to touch grass, to get off the internet, to see that the world is not as doom and gloom as a lot of people make it out to be. And this is why I am organizing a nature hike this Sunday in the morning, afternoon in Washington, D.C. for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up to LukeUnfiltered.com, what are you waiting for? We're going to have a special broadcast available to you right after this one, and also give you guys the ability to speak to the high-profile guests that we're going to be speaking to during the Libertarian National Convention. Yes, you could call in. You could ask a question. You could be a part of the broadcast that we're going to be doing very soon at the LP just by simply signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We have many different tiers that you could sign up to. We have an $8 tier, which is the basic one. It's simple. It's easy. If you have a little bit of more cash to spare, check out the $15 one. And if you're someone like David Rockefeller or Lord Jacob Rothschild, you got a lot of money, you're a big bankster, you're a big media mogul, sign up for the $99. Of course, we will make it worth your while with our A-list newsroom, members forums, masterclasses, direct conversations, AMAs, as we are building, growing, and expanding. And you guys get to be a part of this independent media organization just by simply signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We have recently decided to step up our game under SaveIrishman.com. We have been building up our studio, and we're doing it with the help of people that we are literally meeting at these meetups. There's an amazing person that we met, Liza Trainer, at one of these meetups. She's like, I do professional set design. I'm like, let's work. Let's make something happen. And this is what you're seeing happening right behind me. Again, great place to network, great place to get to know each other. We're going to be doing that right now. Bring your friends, bring your family members, bring your pets this Sunday in Washington, D.C. for the official nature hike from We Are Change, where, of course, we will be walking in nature, talking to each other, and living life to the fullest. That right there is possible for you. Even if you're not in Washington, D.C., you want to help more of these meetups happen everywhere, sign up right now, because you signing up allows us to do this, as of course, we got to enjoy every moment we have before ish just absolutely breaks loose geopolitically, as internationally there's a lot of tensions unfolding right now, especially in Taiwan, where the Chinese government has now officially surrounded this small island by sea and air with warships and aircraft as they are conducting a military exercise that a lot of military analysts announce could soon become a real-life situation, as the Taiwan military just released a map of this Chinese joint sword exercise that involves 42 Chinese military aircraft, 15 naval ships, 16 coastal guard ships, as the Taiwanese military is responding by deploying supersonic Hushangfang 3 anti-ship missile batteries and air defense systems around Taiwan, as even Taiwan's Beijing-friendly political party is coming out and saying that this is a step too far here, as they're detailing how this is, quote, Chinese punishment conducted through military drills that are very concerning for the political party in Taiwan that is for China. This, as we also learned that the Taiwanese have created major kill switches that would disable chip manufacturing facilities that the Taiwanese are known for producing, and being one of the few places in the world that could produce, manufacture computer chips that, of course, are in high demand. If the Chinese do decide to invade Taiwan, and they do pull these larger kill switches, this, of course, will have a grave impact on the economy. Of course, so will international trade, that will create larger economic pressures that the world hasn't seen before. Now, you add this to the fact of a changing presidency and a presidency in Washington, D.C. right now that looks weak on the geopolitical world stage. Is this the last opportunity that China sees having when it comes to launching a larger military escalation without grander response from the United States? Well, probably, as of course the Chinese have done a lot of business deals with the Bidens before and have transferred a lot of money to them, which of course buys a lot of influence, which should be an issue of concern for many Americans here, as the Chinese government has released a statement saying that the Taiwanese independence forces will have their heads broken and blood flowing if they decide to respond to, of course, the larger military exercises of the Chinese literally planning to invade them. This says, of course, there's a rumor circulating that the Chinese are planning to invade Taiwan in early June, as of course a lot of these rumors come and go. But the situation is very serious, and if it escalates, this, of course, will have larger grandstanding effects, not just on the geopolitical situation, but more importantly, the economy that already isn't in a good place. Now, all of this is also happening as Russia is making some other very key aggressive moves, especially when it comes to their sea border expansion near Lithuania, that is literally having that country summon Russian diplomats, as the Russians are moving a significant amount of their forces now being transported near the second largest city in Ukraine, Kharkiv, that has been under attack by Russian forces, as Russian fighter jets with now new long-range air-to-air missiles have been seen for the first time, as there was just recently a nuclear war drill conducted by Russia near the Ukrainian territory. All of this as the Ukrainian government is demanding that the United States allow them to use U.S. weapons into Russian territory, as already the Ukrainians have been launching attacks on Russian territory. Now they specifically want the United States weapons that were shipped to them through your tax dollars to be used on Russian territory, something, of course, that the United States has prevented Ukraine from doing to, of course, decrease further escalations from here. This says, of course, this situation could change at any moment and any time, and, of course, escalate it that much further. All of this as Ukraine is asking its allies to start to consider to shoot down Russian missile systems, as, of course, this is what the United States recently did in the Middle East, shooting down many Iranian missile systems. As today, we're also finding out about the U.S. military base that has been set up outside of Gaza that now has been fully activated and is engaging threats against it, as now U.S. troops have been officially deployed and are supporting IDF operations in the Middle East right now, as the United States is also reporting that none of the food aid has moved through the Gaza pier or made it to the people that, of course, are needing it now more than ever. All of this as Germany has just announced that it will arrest the prime minister of this country if Benjamin Netanyahu sets foot in Germany after the International Criminal Court called to charge him for crimes against humanity. This as there's more and more international pressure on this country in the Middle East that just expanded its military operations inside of Rafah that the United States told it not to do, said that it would stop giving them weapons if they did that, and then for a short time did, and then just a few hours later just decided to, of course, retract that and give them all the weapons that they needed and wanted. As, of course, the weapons are making it through, not the food aid. This as the United States is spending trillions of dollars on the military-industrial complex. What do we have to show for it? Well, a lot of destroyed and deteriorated countries, a lot of enemies that, of course, used our own money to empower themselves and arm themselves, that we have to continue to keep fighting with our tax dollars. That, of course, keeps going around in a very vicious cycle that absolutely is destroying and wrecking this economy. As in the United Kingdom, the general public there is warned to stock up on food and water, as, of course, geopolitically, the situation is more dangerous than ever to be involved in, as we could already be involved in a larger global conflict and not even know about it. Again, these conflicts are escalating. They're very serious. They come on the heels of Putin and Xi just having face-to-face meetings inside of China. I don't think it's a coincidence that these larger escalations are happening after this particular meeting. I think there's only going to be more escalations from here. I think the United States is weak. It's seen as weak, especially with its current political leadership, especially with larger questions against the US dollar. And some countries, I think, might be taking advantage of that weakness. And that, to me, highlights some very troubling situations, especially during an election cycle, that some countries will see as an opportunity to do whatever they can before the changing of this representative figure in the United States that would probably have a different stance than the current leadership that has been bought off and heavily influenced by all the money that has been given to them by all these other foreign entities that, of course, now have influence in Washington, D.C. So, yeah. It's just crazy, and it's only going to get crazier. Stay tuned for more. I got one more video coming your way on lukeunfiltered.com right after this broadcast. Again, click subscribe, click the notification button. We're going to be going live. I don't know when. When we do, you're going to want to make sure you're going to be there with us. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.